Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Editor Matt McCall here to give you a rundown of this week's edition of the Weekly Observer and the Lake City News and Post, if you've been paying attention. And starting it off this week, we've got a story about Paula McLaughlin, who was the Vice President of the Greater Lake City Chamber of Commerce, and she has resigned to help attend to her parents who are getting older, and she was called a pivotal member by some of the board members, and they're hoping that they can have that position filled pretty soon. So keep a lookout for that. And also we've got a story on the Williamsburg County School District, and they're trying to address an enrollment drop that has been going on for about 6 or 7 years now. That's really increased over the past 6 or 7 years. And there's actually a breakdown on page 8A of all the schools in the school district and how much their losses have been since 2005 or 2006. And it's really interesting to look at what schools have been losing students and what schools have been gaining students, and the rate of students leaving. It's pretty interesting to look at if you like statistics and things like that. And also we've got the Pamplico brush fires, which is your main story this week. And basically this occurred Thursday, and this was just someone that seemed to be running around setting brush fires for some reason. And the main story here is not necessarily the fires, but more so the amount of manpower that it takes to put these fires out, and how it is not appropriated to other things, such as if there were a structure fire going on at the other side of the fire district at the same time as these brush fires, you'd have all of the firefighters at these 5 or 6 brush fires in Pamplico, whereas there could be something else in the northern part of the district that the firefighters wouldn't necessarily be able to get to as fast. And the firefighters said that that's the thing that they really don't like about it, is that they have to leave to get something that is not really substantial in terms of putting people's lives in danger, whereas there could be something else. There could be a structure fire in another part of the district. So that's on 1A for you to read. And then heading over to page 9A, we've got a story about Lake City and Hemingway. And the Hemingway game, if you went to it, that was a really good game. Overtime, Hemingway won. The couple of buzzer beaters. Hemingway hit a 3 at the end of the 3rd quarter, and then Carver's Bay hit a 3 at the end of the 4th quarter to send it into overtime. And it was a really good game. And last night, Hemingway played Lamar and beat them by about 10. Johnsonville played East Clarendon, beat them by about 10 or something like that. And Hemingway's going to be traveling to Allendale Fairfax Friday night, and Johnsonville is going to be playing Bethune-Bowman at home Friday night. And they have home court advantage all the way through the playoffs. They are the designated home team, so if they continue to win, all their games will be at Johnsonville until the lower state championship, which will be played at the Florence Civic Center, and then from there to the wherever University of South Carolina. I think it's Colonial Life Arena, not Little John. So yeah, and that pretty much sums it up for this week's edition of the Weekly Observer. So be sure to head out and get your copy, 25 cents. Can't beat that deal. Thanks guys, I'll see you next week.